Federal agents with the Department of Homeland Security and other law enforcement officials raided rapper Sean Diddy Combs' Los Angeles and Miami homes on Monday as part of an ongoing sex trafficking investigation. And both of his sons, Justin and King Combs, are seen here in handcuffs. This is a developing story. We'll be discussing all of this and more coming up in this video. Folks, more and more news about celebrities involved in sex trafficking and abuse just keep coming to the surface. And what's going on now? Well, P. Diddy is on the run. Not only did his homes get raided and his two sons detained outside the house, but his private jet left the US for the Caribbean. It is not yet confirmed if he has been apprehended, but he is on the run and left behind his family. The flight path of the plane was heading towards Cape Verde. Cape Verde has no extradition treaty with the US. At the moment, the flight is currently grounded on the Caribbean island of Antigua. But now, this is strange because it is unknown if P. Diddy was actually on the plane or not. So if not P. Diddy, then who?
That doesn't make sense.
So we don't know if he's in New York, Miami, LA, Cape Verde. It's just a mystery right now. And that in of itself is suspicious. Why would authorities raid P. Diddy's home with a swarm of armed law enforcement in an obviously coordinated cross-country operation, while they don't even know his exact location before busting the door down? This story is getting very weird. Now, there has been no official announcement that P. Diddy is the ringleader of a sex trafficking operation, and I'm wondering if maybe it's because he was not the intended target, but rather a honeypot scapegoat. There is no way that federal law enforcement conducts a raid on someone's house without knowing that person's location, unless there is something they are trying to hide. Something doesn't add up, and maybe this raid is about finding and destroying evidence tied to somebody else in this operation. Can't confirm anything yet, but something is just fishy about this. Seems to be a recurring pattern whenever high-level public figures are the subject of sex trafficking rings. They did it with Jeffrey Epstein, and we know how transparent the intelligence agencies were on that one, right? Yeah, seems like there's another cover-up in the works here. Now, Sean Diddy Combs has been the subject of sexual assault allegations in the past, most recently involving his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. 4 months ago, the singer Cassie accused Combs of sex trafficking. I'm going to read a little snippet from the allegations here. Miss Cassandra Ventura was held down by Mr. Combs and endured over a decade of his violent behavior and disturbed demands. For Miss Ventura, the dark times were those she spent trapped by Mr. Combs in a cycle of abuse, violence, and sex trafficking. Among other violent and unlawful acts, Mr. Combs raped Miss Ventura in her own home after she tried to leave him, often punched, beat, kicked, and stomped on Miss Ventura, resulting in bruises, burst lips, black eyes, and bleeding, blew up a man's car after he learned that he was romantically interested in Miss Ventura, forced Miss Ventura to engage in sex acts with male sex workers while masturbating and filming the encounters, ran out of his apartment with a firearm in pursuit of a rival industry executive whom he learned was nearby. Allegedly, Cassie turned over a substantial amount of evidence to the feds, which includes footage of sex parties and other private gatherings involving powerful politicians and entertainers. There are rumors she handed over Diddy's late wife Kim Porter's burner phone and USBs with incriminating evidence against Diddy and these politicians and entertainers. So as of now, these are just rumors, but what we're talking about here is the possibility of P. Diddy being used for blackmail, and he's not the only one involved. Of these allegations is American pastor T.D. Jakes, who has been widely speculated already to being involved in Diddy's sex parties, which included sexual relations with underage boys. His PR rep said these rumors were unequivocally false and baseless, and Jake himself spoke out about the rumors in a sermon.
All of you who expect me to address a lie, you can log
mogul.
But multiple male escorts have corroborated the fact that TD Jakes has slept with multiple men at Diddy's parties and abroad. And a young male is coming forward to sue Jakes for an incident that occurred when he was only 16 years old. 4 Jane Does and 1 John Doe already sat for interviews with Southern District of New York investigators for a probe related to alleged sex trafficking, racketeering, and domestic violence. More interviews are being scheduled. Douglas Wigdor, who represents Cassie Ventura and a Jane Doe accuser, said to Rolling Stone, "Hopefully, this is the beginning of a process that will hold Mr. Combs responsible for his depraved conduct." Attorney Tyrone Blackburn, who represents 2 accusers, music producer Rodney Jones and Liza Gardner, tells Rolling Stone, "It's about damn time. Sometimes justice delayed is not justice denied, so long as justice ultimately arrives." Jones sued Combs last month for sexual assault, harassment, and not compensating him for work on the Grammy-nominated The Love album. Gardner filed suit in November, alleging Combs and singer-songwriter Aaron Hall took turns raping her following an Uptown Records event in 1990. Now, another thing about P. Diddy, and this seems to be common with possible sex offenders, namely the ones on Epstein's flight log, they all have one thing in common: they hate Trump.
White men like Trump need to be banished. That way of thinking is real dangerous. When you look at it, we don't have no choice. You know what I'm saying? You can say what you want about Biden. I can't say I love the pick either, but hey, we got to get him in office.
And no surprise here, he recently endorsed Joe Biden. Yeah, he'd rather endorse Creepy Joe, the guy that likes to sniff little kids and shower with his daughter, rather than President Trump, the only president who seriously cracked down on child trafficking and managed to get Jeffrey Epstein arrested under his watch. These signs of honeypotting, blackmail, and protecting powerful people only begs the question, is P. Diddy another Epstein? Well, let's see what happens. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to Inverted World, and I will see you on the next one.